Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Archie's Briefings. I'm so happy to be back. I am your host, Arshel Branch, and today, you guys, we are going to talk about business, building business, doing business, whether you are a solopreneur or if you are trying to build something that hires people outside of yourself. You know, these last few weeks, I've been working with a couple of people. My brother, I've been working with some comedians as a studio producer, so I've been pretty busy. And all of that we are going to discuss just so you all have an update about what I've been up to, but how that actually relates to everything we're going to discuss today about doing business and all the haters that have something to say that's going to discourage you. So before I go ahead and get into this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so that way you never miss an episode. Share this video, like this video, just so we can do something about the algorithm, right? So let's go ahead and let's talk about it. There is something that has been on my heart that I did want to discuss. Discipline is a huge part of being productive, being lucrative. I am not for anything that goes against true productivity, true sovereignty of the individual. The choices that we make are what's going to be up for judgment. If you guys are interested in having your own show open just as wonderful as mine is, reach out to this gentleman, Matthew Torrance, on scoresomemusic.com. I think he's phenomenal. He delivered. You tell him what kind of music you are interested in, what the style is, whether it's a show open like this podcast here, or if you're someone who wants to write their own music, right? He's going to deliver on that. You may be good at writing the lyrics, but you're not so good on the actual music itself. He's definitely the one to reach out to. So again, reach out to Matthew Torrance at scoresomemusic.com. Now let's go ahead and let's get into the episode, shall we? Okay, you guys. So as I said before the open, that we were going to be talking about business. Now, before I get into what I mean by that, I'm just going to give you guys a couple of things as to what I've been up to these last few weeks. So part of the reason why I have not been posting, I've been doing lives more because I have not been able to have access to my studio because I've been working with a few people. I've been working with my older brother who is building his cigar lounge. He's worked for years, total of 19 years, going on 20 as a trucker, right? He owns his own business. And he's been doing very well doing that. And so much so that the practical business paid for the dream business of the cigar lounge. And I've been able to help him build that up literally, right? I mean, I'm doing the drill work, I'm cleaning the floors, I'm working the register. This last weekend, he had his soft open where we had a bunch of bikers show up. I mean, like I said, guys, it was straight Sense of Anarchy without the violence. If you caught that live, it was, it was an experience. I felt safe, not enough to go ask them questions or talk to them. They were very funny about pictures, so we didn't take any pictures to post for the internet. It was a really successful soft open, and it just did incredibly well thanks to my brother's hard work. Like I said in the live, I'm someone who's been unemployed for quite some time because of the whole COVID situation, into the you're not vaxxed. And then when I did try to go back into finding work, it wasn't available. So there was a lot going on there with my own employment status where I just decided, you know what, screw it. I'm a great communicator. I have some ideas. I have some opinions. I'm just going to go full time on YouTube until someone says the words, "You're hired," unless my brother's business is up and running, and then I can work there. And guess what? That's actually happened. Over these last few weeks, we've been working together to get that off the floor, and he's been doing incredibly well. Now, I bring that up to say that even though it's now off the floor, that the soft open has happened, we're working on the grand opening to this place, we are getting some hateration. And it doesn't matter if it's coming from strangers. Funnily enough, it's not coming from strangers. The bikers absolutely loved what my brother had done. They're really excited about what he has to bring and the team that he's gathered as it relates to which family members are actually putting in the work. It's me, it's my stepfather, it's my twin sister, it's his wife, my mom, our mom is actually putting in the work as well. She's helped him get his trucking business off the floor. She's been a part of his business for years. She helped him with the cigar lounge, and now it's officially off the ground. And it's actually doing something. Now, it's not quite profitable yet, but he literally just launched. And we're hearing all of these comments coming in, not from strangers, but from family members. Now, I don't know if any of my family members are watching this. If they are, it does have to be talked about. It does have to be said. Maybe by watching this, they may change their tone. They may change how they speak to him. They may change how they speak to me. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of hateration. There's a lot of maybe not so much disingenuous. I'm trying to find a nice way to say this just in case they are watching. Got to be cautious about how you speak to family. And if you're a viewer of this channel, then maybe you understand it as well, especially when you're a conservative, you have your beliefs, and how do you get your ideas across without stepping on anybody's toes? Sometimes the truth can be, offensive, not because they're trying to be offensive or they're trying to get on your nerves, but because they're just trying to be honest. In my opinion, I don't care if you're trying to be honest. There's a way of saying things, there's a way of not saying things, and the way that they were saying things to my brother just wasn't helpful, right? Oh, well, we don't like the inside of your store. It's ugly. This is what one of the people in my family told my older brother. Oh, we don't like the pictures that you posted. You should have waited. You should do something. What do you mean you should have waited? What do you mean? Oh, you shouldn't do your grand opening on this day. You should wait till this time until this is what it is. I don't see you putting in the work or the effort. I don't see you trying to pay to get anything done. You keep saying this, that, and the third, but where's your contribution? I don't see you out here trying to build shelves. I don't see you out here painting the walls. I don't see you out here filming so we have the film that we need for our shell short film about the place. I don't see you putting in the work, but you got a lot of opinions though. Where's your labor to even have anything to say? Penny for your thoughts. Put in something where I think your opinion is valid, right? This is part of the problem that when you are someone who is trying to build a business, whether it's a solopreneurship, like how I'm doing with this podcast, for example, because the same thing happened with me in this podcast. Few months prior to when I came back to doing YouTube, I was doing my channel. I was really excited about it. And I had people in my ear telling me, oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Oh, Arshelle, because you made bad financial decisions. You shouldn't be talking to people about money. You shouldn't be trying to promote yourself as this financial professional. It's like, wait a minute, but I have my health life license, though. I did learn a lot. And between my experience with being bad with money, plus the information and the license that I obtained, at the very least, I can share with people what's important when it comes to the investing. I can tell them what not to do or share with what I did so they can avoid those same routes, right? Smart people learn from their decisions, from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. So if I'm open enough to tell my viewers, hey, maybe don't just party, party, party when you have money coming in, maybe party, but also save. Like, why not say that? Why can't I say that? Oh, well, it's because you don't have a college degree. Oh, well, it's because you're not doing so financially well. I mean, what difference does it make? If I made mistakes and learned from them, I can share people with the results. I can share people what I've learned so maybe they can avoid those things. Don't tell me that not to do my YouTube channel because I'm not rich. Don't tell me not to do this. And for a while there, I wasn't until, Trump got shot at and I was galvanized to sit in front of the camera and say something. And you guys have been extraordinary. Oh, the YouTube thing is not something that we should be encouraging. That, what do you mean though? I have viewers, I have subscribers. I'm actually earning from the YouTube channel. I mean, not enough to live off of, but the fact that I'm earning at all suggests that maybe I am onto something. Don't discourage me. Don't put doubts in my head. And this is one of the reasons why you don't really want to share with the world. And that does include family, folks. Don't share with everybody what you're up to. Some people are going to say, oh no, you should share with the world. You should share with people because those people are going to hold you accountable. Well, if I can hold myself accountable and I can make sure that I stick to my obligations, which my viewers and my podcast are, that's an obligation to me. I believe so anyhow. My viewers, they're subscribing, they are supporting the show. Therefore, this is an obligation. I enjoy the obligation. I enjoy the work that I'm doing. I don't make that much money off of this, but I enjoy doing it. Don't tell me not to do it. Don't call my brother and tell him, oh, you shouldn't do this because, oh, I think it's ugly. What do you mean you think it's ugly? Where's your store? Where's your business? My brother owns 2 businesses. Don't tell him not to do this. Don't tell him that he's wrong for trying to get this off the floor sooner than you think it should. And people are going to do that. I've been working with my brother for the last 2 weeks, just building up the store in real life. My twin sister, who has her own podcast, Brazen Insights. You guys may watch her. I brought her onto the show once in a while. I've been on her show as well. I think you guys should check it out. Brazen Insights is a really good podcast. And we talk about it all the time. Don't tell people not to try. Don't tell people not to get what they're trying to get going. Don't do that. Maybe don't tell the world at this point. This is what I've learned. This is my personal experience at this point. That when you share with the world, and the world meaning family first, I will say some of them are going to be encouraging. This is why I didn't tell any of my family members about my YouTube channel, and except for 2 people. Okay. And my brother as well. I told 3 people: my twin sister, who has her own podcast, my older sister, who is the comedian Testimony, and my brother, who has his own YouTube channel as well and owns 2 businesses and is working on this second one, the second business that he owns, and trying to get that off the floor. I encourage him. I bring out the best in him. And normally my sister and I, my twin sister and I, are usually the ones that come out in defense of him. They always attack him and, the whole gay black woman nonsense. We always end up having to defend his honor because the older siblings, with the exception of the comedian Testimony, generally like to pick on him sometimes. And I don't like it. And again, if my family's watching this, then maybe this is something that they're going to be able to hear because I'm not talking to them directly. I'm speaking and sharing with the viewers here. But he busted his behind raising two children with a wife, building business, because guess what? That's his life. That's his life. And he's been very successful at it. He's a business owner, he's a husband, he's a father, and he's not perfect in any of these aspects, but he does the work. He tries, he puts in the effort. And that's something that should be commended. That's something that should be applauded. He's getting the second business, which is the dream that he has, off the floor, and they were telling him not to do it too soon. Oh, it's too soon. You have to wait. You should wait until this is done. You should wait until that's done. If you're waiting for perfection, this is just an excuse to not do it. And I see the same thing happening with people who want to do podcasts, who want to build business. As I said, I've been doing a couple of things. I've been working gigs like crazy. I'm working as a studio producer with my sister, who's a comedian, Testimony, working on building a podcast. And guess what? She was not sure if she should start sooner rather than later. It's like, well, if you put emphasis on what you don't have, these are just excuses to not get it done. Don't tell the world, just tell the person you're working with. Speak to your team. Speak only to the people whom you know are going to give you that encouragement and hold you accountable in a way that's respectful. I don't need someone to tell me to just get a video out. I just do it, right? I've been busy up the wazoo because of the work, which again, this channel is about productivity and wanting people to find work wherever they can and inspire you. There's going to be enough people on YouTube who say why you're doing everything wrong. Okay? Oh, you live with your parents and you shouldn't be able to say this and the third. Live with your parents, Gen Zers, millennials. There's enough people on YouTube who are going to come at your neck because maybe you're a woman who doesn't want a job because you've seen the women in your family be tired, exhausted, and bitter. But now you have to do it, but now you're trying to find a way where it doesn't take up all of your time. There's enough people on YouTube who are going to talk shit, excuse my language, about you, about what it is you're up to, whether they're talking about you specifically or just in the general sense, which we've had enough of. Trust me, as a millennial who's been unemployed for quite some time, I totally get it. Totally get it. There's enough people out here who are going to say why you shouldn't do something. There were enough people in my family who, if I had told them when I was promoting on other platforms, I had a lot of people in my ear telling me why I should change what it is that I'm saying, that I shouldn't focus on my YouTube channel, just completely putting doubts in my head to the point where I stopped. And it took someone to try to kill the president for me to get back in front of the camera. I mean, it should never be that drastic. It should never be so extreme. Something horrible happens that you just feel galvanized to get out there. No, you should feel like I can do this anytime, any day of the week, any month. You should just feel galvanized to do it. That's the whole point. When you are in the process of building a business, whether it's a solopreneur building a podcast like this one, or you're building a business where you're going to be able to hire people the way that my brother has between both the trucking company and his cigar lounge, there's going to be enough people who put doubts in your head. That's the whole point. Today's episode is specifically about avoiding those voices. Because here's the thing. That happened just today. I was on the phone with my brother because my family's telling me that he's thinking about canceling his grand opening, and I had to call them. Wait a minute. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What, talk to me, bro. What's happening? It's like, yeah, well, this one's saying that the pictures are ugly. Well, your angles are off, the lighting was off, and you're not a photographer. You should have had me take those pictures, but I was too busy working the register and getting whatever film I could get without getting the bikers, of course, for the short film that I'm building. Why are you listening to the people who have not built a business? You realize that out of all of our mother's children, out of all of us, you are the only one who has two businesses? That you realize that out of everybody that you spoke to, the ones that are telling you why you shouldn't do something have absolutely nothing to do with the cigar lounge? They're not in here fixing the walls, fixing the ceiling, drilling, painting, promoting, getting film. They're not the ones going with you to Lowe's, to errands. They're not the ones making the runs. They're not the ones behind the register. They're not the ones making sure that you have what you need to make this a hit. Don't talk to the people who are not a part of your crew because they're just going to put doubts into your head. And this goes for anybody, whatever your business is, whether you're someone like myself. This YouTube channel does not make me that much money, and it doesn't bother me. I know the Lord's got something in store for me. My viewers are awesome. They've contributed to the show. I may not be making a lot of money over here, but it's something. I enjoy it. My viewers are awesome sauce. Now, again, I decided to talk about this today because this means something a lot. These last few episodes that I've been doing, not to say that they're not important. I've been talking about Kamala Harris. I've been talking about Trump. I've been talking about the politics that's been going on. Not to say that doesn't matter. It does matter. But understand, we got to get ourselves right, and we got to be able to block out, put blinders on to the people who are going to sow doubts into our minds. That there is a major entrepreneurship spirit amongst millennials and Gen Zers. It is through the roof. They have not seen something this similar since the days of World War II. That's incredible. That's an incredible thing. And so we should be listening to people that are going to help us find the way to make it so. It doesn't mean that they're going to last. It doesn't mean that we're going to be successful with these businesses. It just means that we have the spirit enough to try, and to have someone, especially in your family, stomp on that like it's meaningless. It's like, oh, I'm coming at you with love. I hate this statement, by the way. It's like, well, you're my family member. I expect that you're coming at me with love without you having to say it. But if you got to say it, it seems like, you're trying to be disrespectful. If it's not, to quote Dave Ramsey, hopeful, helpful, or healing, then was it even necessary to say? Okay. I've been working with my siblings to build productions, to build business between my sister, the comedian Testimony, who is hysterical. She is absolutely hilarious. And she's working on a podcast. And, she's letting time go by too far. But because I got in there, listen, don't even wait. If you wait too long because, oh, I got to get this, I got to get that, I got to straighten up this area, I got to do this. If you give yourself reasons for why to not start, then you just won't start. When they called my brother to tell him why he should wait, you should do this, you should do. Yeah, but here's the thing. If you listened to them about your soft open, you wouldn't have had a successful soft open. You made sales. The fact that you made sales, it wasn't enough to pay everybody from the sales, right? You couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay our stepfather. You couldn't do that. But the fact that you were open at all, the fact that you had people coming in, the fact that you had sales, the fact that you have people who are interested enough to check you out on your social media, who are excited about your website, you have great feedback coming in. Listen to the people who are putting in the effort. Listen to the people who are going to encourage you to do the best, to be your best. Don't listen to the hate. But the whole point that I'm trying to get across, people, is that there's going to be haters. People are not going to, support you, even the closest people to you. It's not that they don't believe that you can't make something happen for yourself, but when it looks unorthodox, like building a YouTube channel, when it looks unorthodox, like trying to get a business off the floor, like my brother with his cigar lounge, like when it comes to the comedian Testimony building up her podcast and trying to do something for herself and her family, you don't tell the world. Even if that part of that world is your family. Why? Because they're going to put doubts into your head. Too much time goes by. These are just excuses to not start. Too many voices in your head are just going to be reasons for why you shouldn't make the move you really want to move in. If I had stayed listening to the individuals who said that I shouldn't do a YouTube channel, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the subscribing that I have. I wouldn't be earning the way that I'm earning, at least, again, not a lot, but enough where I can see incredible potential in what this channel could do. That if my brother had listened to those family members instead of listening to me, my twin sister, right? By listening to our stepfather, who is a part of the crew that is building up the Kingdom Cigar Lounge, that by listening to voices who have no role here whatsoever, who have put no labor in this whatsoever, just putting out their opinions. I don't like the way it looks. You have too many recliners. I don't like the colors. Mind you, you just had a soft open with over 100 bikers, a lot of which came into your place of who came into your business and said they like the feel, they love and they're excited about what you have coming forward, excited about your website that you have coming out soon. Don't listen to those voices. Listen to the wrong people. That's enough to make you not want to try. But after talking to me and to our sister, Asia, who has the Brazen Insights podcast, by listening to us, guess what? he's excited. You know what? You're right. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, don't listen to these people. I love them to death, but my goodness, the vine travels and the vine sometimes is just all over the place. When you listen to the wrong people, it's enough to kill a dream. And out of all of us, you are the only one of our mother's children who has successful businesses. You had, dude, you made over $1 million doing the trucking company. You were able to fund the dream. Your children, especially his youngest child, his son, looks at him like, oh my goodness, I want to be just like my dad. I look at my brother and I see that's ideal. That's what a businessman is supposed to look like. How he's not a Trump supporter is unbelievable to me. It's funny as all heck. But this is the point, right? We're trying to, I don't think he's voting this election. Again, if I can take votes from Kamala Harris, that is a good thing. Hopefully I've changed his mind. I'm hoping. We shall see. But essentially, this is the point. Do what you got to do. Focus on what you're trying to get done. Focus on those moves and only talk to the people who, yes, are going to hold you accountable to the things that you say, but are also going to be encouraging. If they are not hopeful, helpful, or healing, then they are just wasting your time. They're sowing doubts in your head, and it's not helpful at all. I could have gotten up here and I could have talked about how Janet Jackson says Kamala Harris is white. We are going to talk about that later this week. I could have gone ahead and I could have done reaction videos to some of the craziness that I've seen on YouTube. I could have talked about the politics. I could have talked about what's going on with Trump and Kamala. I could have talked about any of those things today. But the thing that really matters, again, as I said, you guys, this channel is about productivity and speaking out against the things that are going to hurt real productivity and the success of my viewers and the American people. I do not like the idea that you can go onto YouTube and find a number of people talk trash about you if you are the struggling millennial or the struggling Gen Zer. If you're anything like me, you've been working gigs like crazy. I've been working as a bartender, a babysitter. I've been selling things off, right? Now been working as a studio producer when it comes to creating podcasts for other people. I've been helping my brother, and I don't make that much money doing these things, right? I still have the time to do my YouTube channel. Like, I'm out here busting my behind because I don't have the everyday 9-to-5 job, which that is going to change because my brother has built his business. Believing in the Lord, believing in family, and encouraging the ones in your family who are going to help provide. And by you focusing on getting done what you got to get done is also going to be beneficial to you and yours. Those are the things that we want to talk about on this channel. I want to encourage the best out of people. I want to encourage you to be productive. When you're building business, sometimes don't listen to the wrong people because that's enough to hurt your chances. That's enough to convince you not to do it. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. That was the advice that I gave to Testimony and her co-host. That is the advice that I gave my brother. That is the advice that I have taken on myself to continue with this podcast. Regardless of what kind of business it is, solopreneur, or you're actually staffing your weaknesses and building something up where you can employ people. Don't listen to the wrong people. Like, I'm fired up over this because my brother is an amazing man. And I don't mind coming out to defend his honor, but I'm a little sick and tired of having to defend his honor against the same damn people. If my family, I love y'all. If y'all are watching this, y'all gonna have to find another way to talk to people because it's not helpful at all. Don't be that person who goes and tells the family member who's trying out here that it's not enough. Like, first of all, as if they don't already know. Like, we know I could do more. I know I've done better. I've done more before. I know I'm trying to get that done. Don't tell me what I already know. Don't try to teach me 2 + 2 = 4. I already know that when we out here trying to solve quadratic equations. Okay? Don't do that. Don't be that person. If you are that person, stop and maybe reevaluate, remodulate your phrases so that way you're actually able to reach them on a level that actually makes sense, that seems helpful and healing and hopeful. If you're not that person, don't say nothing. Well, my mother always said, and it's a cliche for a reason, if you have nothing nice to say nothing. And if you have something that's going to be helpful, then you can share that, but say it in a way that they could actually receive it. The moment you tell me that what I'm doing is all wrong, that what I've done is stupid, that I should stop doing what I've been doing because it's not enough, then I don't want to hear you no more. And just blinders. You do what you got to do. And if you don't have the support, you have it here. You guys go ahead and get into the comment sections and let me know what you think about everything that I just said here. If you're the person who's trying to build a business, whether it's a podcast or something else, You don't have the support, you get into the comment sections and you say, hey, listen, I could use the support, and I will like and heart all the way down through. If you just want to have that conversation, get into the comment sections and let me know what you think. Hit my DMs on Instagram just so you can have someone to speak to directly about what it's actually like. I think it's important that we create a community here that says, it's okay if you're struggling. Totally get it. Been there, done that. It's okay. It's okay if you're building a business and it's not quite there yet. I will give you that support. I will promote your business here for free just because I think it's awesome. Okay. If you're a young person who's trying to build, get into the comments, get into the Instagram, and hit me up on DM. I will promote and support your shows. I will support your content. I will support your businesses, and I will do that for free just because I believe in these things. And I know you guys believe in it as well, because you wouldn't be here otherwise. And you guys can go ahead, because we are a business here. You can support the channel by Cash Apping me at #RShellBranch. You can like and follow me on Twitter, I refuse to call it X, at Archie_finance. You can follow me on Instagram at Archie Financial. And, you guys can follow me on LinkedIn at RShellBranch. I believe in what I'm doing here with the podcast. I believe in what my brother is doing. I believe in what the comedian Testimony is doing. I believe in hard work. I believe in family. I believe in Jesus. And if you are someone who's out here struggling and you do not have the support with your family, you have it here. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you all for watching. Again, I am your host, Arshel Branch, and I really do miss being back with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys all have a good one. Have a good day. Kepla.